There were a huge number of characters in Avengers Infinity War, and they all got their moment in the spotlight. There were aliens, gods, androids, and indeed humans all fighting the same fight, and that inevitably resulted in some serious mismatches. In order to make those mismatches seem a bit more fair, on some occasions, characters who were incredibly powerful ended up, let's call it, underperforming. Normally, for the sake of the plot. In this video, we'll take you through 10 characters who were seriously underpowered in Avengers Infinity War, and be warned, it does contain spoilers. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. It's the best way of keeping up to date with all of Screen Rant's great new videos.
Sir, please put down the spear.
Loki. Prior to Thanos' introduction as a primary antagonist in Avengers Infinity War, Tom Hiddleston's Loki had been the MCU's best villain. He was presented as a threat to the entire Avengers roster in the superhero team's first movie back in 2012, and he has walked the line between anti-hero and outright bad guy ever since. At the very start of Avengers Infinity War, he was killed off while trying to do the right thing, but he did so in quite a pathetic fashion. Given the number of tricks at the God of Mischief's disposal, illusions and whatnot, for him to attack Thanos from the front with a knife before being choked to death, it was a very disappointing show from the franchise icon.
What do we do, Cap?
We fight.
Proxima Midnight. Proxima Midnight is a member of the Black Order and one of Thanos' most skilled servants in terms of combat prowess. She possessed superhuman strength, speed, durability, and endurance, as well as a three-pronged spear that she could mentally control and which could discharge powerful blasts of energy. All of which seemed to be evident when she attacked Vision and Scarlet Witch in Scotland along with Corvus Glaive. But she was soon the victim of some plot-induced power reduction, which made her look categorically weak when the human trio of Captain America, Black Widow, and Falcon arrived and were able to overpower both her and Glaive to send them running. She would later be matched by Black Widow and Okoye, both of whom were merely human, before being turned to mush by one of Thanos' own war machines.
Now, put that thing back where you found it before someone gets hurt.
Corvus Glaive. Corvus Glaive, who is actually the aforementioned Proxima Midnight's husband in the comics, is another member of Thanos' elite Black Order, who, as it turned out, really wasn't all that. Along with Midnight, he attacked Vision and Scarlet Witch early in Avengers Infinity War, and looked quite impressive, until the human trio of Captain America, Black Widow, and Falcon drove them off, with Black Widow actually wounding Glaive quite badly in the process. Glaive was a master combatant, and he possessed superhuman strength, speed, durability, and endurance, so the fact that he was defeated by a human was embarrassing. And although he later fought his way past Ayo and Shuri, he was ultimately killed when Vision put his own bladed weapon through his torso during the Battle of Wakanda. Black Panther. Black Panther was the last MCU movie released before Avengers Infinity War, and it was absolutely fantastic, thanks largely to Chadwick Boseman's performance as T'Challa. We were introduced to his amazing vibranium armor, which could do everything from absorbing kinetic energy and expelling it as a concussive force, to absorbing sound so T'Challa could move without making any noise whatsoever. While his performance in Avengers Infinity War was relatively impressive, kicking Outrider butt with relative ease and commanding the Wakandan armies with the authority you'd expect from a warrior king, we saw very little in terms of the more esoteric stuff that his suit was capable of, and that was pretty underwhelming and disappointing, if we're being totally honest.
Groot, put that thing away. Now, I don't want to tell you again. Groot.
Star-Lord. Star-Lord had a pretty legitimate excuse for being underpowered in Avengers Infinity War. He lost his near godhood in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 when he killed his father, the Celestial Ego, and lost his connection to the light that burned within his planet. That being said, he still managed to prove himself worse than useless in the fight against Thanos. Peter Quill had his usual quips and wit, and he did come up with a relatively decent plan. But he showed very little during the battle to justify the term superhero, and he actually ruined any chance of defeating the Mad Titan when he let his emotions get the better of him, just as it looked as though Iron Man, Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, Drax, and Mantis were going to remove the Infinity Gauntlet from the villain's giant purple hand.
I am Mantis.
Mantis. Mantis isn't much of a fighter, but she proved how powerful she was in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, when she was able to temporarily incapacitate the planet-sized Ego using her ability to induce sleep. It was, therefore, a seriously underpowered display when she struggled to do the same with Thanos, while several other heroes were attacking him physically at the same time. Granted, Thanos was wielding several of the Infinity Stones, but none of them were the Mind Stone, and none of the 5 he was wielding seemed to be active at that time. To go from overpowering a Celestial's mind to struggling to do the same with Thanos seems like a downgrade in power, in spite of how powerful the Mad Titan obviously was.
You need to be skillful, agile, and above all, you need to be fast.
Cull Obsidian. When everyone saw pictures of Cull Obsidian prior to the release of Avengers Infinity War, it was generally assumed he was going to be Thanos' Hulk-level monster who would crush everything in his path. But that didn't turn out to be the case. Sure, he was big, extremely strong, and very durable, but he was ultimately very disappointing compared to what was expected. In his first appearance in the movie, he failed to defeat Iron Man and Spider-Man, and quickly lost one of his forearms when a portal closed on him after it was banished to a snowy region. He then took part in the Battle of Wakanda and didn't really have the expected impact, and ultimately he was killed during the fight with the Hulkbuster when part of the suit dragged him up to Wakanda's force field before exploding.
I'll send your brother to come find you, but if you step out that door, you are an Avenger.
Scarlet Witch. Hold on a second, haven't we included Scarlet Witch in our overpowered list as well? Well, yes. Yes, we have. And that's because at different times in Avengers Infinity War, Wanda Maximoff was both. She was very impressive in the final battle when she held back Thanos when he had 5 Infinity Stones while destroying the Mind Stone in Vision's forehead at the same time. But earlier in the movie, she was very underpowered. When Corvus, Glaive, and Proxima Midnight attacked her and Vision in Scotland after Vision was stabbed through his torso, the superpowered pair needed saving by Captain America, Black Widow, and Falcon, 3 human Avengers with no real superpowers to speak of. If Scarlet Witch had performed close to her best in that fight, she would have taken both members of the Black Order out with ease. Vision. Vision was always going to be a major player in Avengers Infinity War, given that a major aspect of his very existence is an Infinity Stone, and he absolutely was. But in terms of the power he showed, he was very disappointing. In his early scenes, he was part of that aforementioned fight in which he and Scarlet Witch, 2 of the most powerful Avengers supposedly, needed to be saved from Corvus, Glaive, and Proxima Midnight by 3 humans, Captain America, Black Widow, and Falcon. Then at the end, when he was taken to Wakanda for his own safety, he didn't put up much of a struggle at all in the final battle and was willing to die rather than attempt to prevent Thanos from getting the Mind Stone from his forehead by actually fighting back. The Hulk. The Hulk was the most disappointing character in Avengers Infinity War, as his only real appearance came at the very beginning when he was beaten so badly by Thanos that he refused to fully come out for the entirety of the remainder of the movie. Of course, it served a purpose. It emphasized just how powerful the Mad Titan was very early on, and it conveniently explained why Bruce Banner came out so easily, in spite of his previous claims that turning into the Hulk again might make the transformation permanent. But it did severely undersell the big green guy. Hulk has defeated Abomination, Loki, the Chitauri army, Ultron's army, Fenris, and countless gladiators on Sakaar, and he even attacked Surtur in his giant form. So for him to fail so easily against Thanos seemed a little out of character. And that's the end of our video. Did you enjoy it? Which characters in Avengers Infinity War did you think were seriously underpowered? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Screen Rant for more great videos like this one. Bye for now.